Being the strong one feels like a compliment. Until it doesn't. Until you realize it's not about being admired, it's about being needed, relied on, expected. It's not about how much you can carry, it's about how much you'll never get to put down. They don't tell you that when people call you strong, they stop asking if you're okay. They assume. They assume you've got it handled. They assume you don't break. They assume your silence is confidence, not exhaustion. And after a while, you start to assume it too. You start to think, maybe I really don't get to fall apart, because who's going to catch me if I do? You become the safe place for everyone else. You listen. You show up. You say, I'm good, even when your chest is tight and your mind is loud. And it becomes a habit, hiding, smiling, nodding, carrying things in the background while people thank you for being dependable. But inside, you're just hoping someone sees through it. Just once, just enough to say, you don't have to be strong today. But that moment never comes, because strength, once expected, becomes invisible. Nobody sees how much it costs you anymore. Nobody notices when your voice gets quieter, when your answers get shorter, when you stop talking about yourself altogether. You become a background character in your own life, watching yourself play a role you didn't audition for. The rock, the anchor, the guy who always figures it out. But let's be honest, some days you don't want to figure it out. You want to be held, heard. You want to say, I'm tired, without someone replying, you got this. You want to cry without it being awkward. You want to be vulnerable without it being labeled as weakness. You want to stop pretending that carrying everything makes you proud, because truthfully, it just makes you lonely. That's the part no one tells you, that being strong is lonely. Not loud, not obvious, not dramatic, just quiet. Like being in a crowded room and feeling like you don't belong, because nobody knows what it feels like to be depended on and forgotten at the same time. Nobody talks about the men who give everything and ask for nothing, not because they don't need help, but because they stopped believing they're allowed to ask. You probably don't even remember the last time you were fully honest with someone, not just about facts, but about feelings, about the pressure, the confusion, the way you sit with your thoughts at night and wonder if anyone actually sees you. Not the version of you that helps, the version that hurts, the version that questions everything, the version that's scared. I know what it's like to be that version and feel like there's no room for him, to wake up and wear the face that people need you to wear, even when it doesn't feel like yours anymore, to laugh when you're numb, to lead when you feel lost, to give advice you don't take yourself. That's not strength, that's survival. You survived heartbreaks that you never spoke about. You've buried disappointments so deep, you forgot they were even there. You've gone through days where the world saw control, but inside, you were unraveling. And nobody saw it, because that's the deal, right? You're the strong one. But here's what they won't say out loud. Being the strong one doesn't mean you don't need love. It doesn't mean you don't need softness. It doesn't mean you don't deserve a break. You're allowed to be held too. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to admit that carrying it all is too damn heavy sometimes. And I'm not here to fix it. I'm not here to tell you what to do next. I'm just saying, I see you. The way you hold it together when no one's looking. The way you fight battles no one claps for. The way you stay even when you don't know why anymore. I see that. And I know what it costs. You don't have to explain it. I've been there too. And maybe, just maybe, you don't have to be strong right now. Maybe you just need to be real. And that's enough. Because sometimes the strongest thing a man can do is finally let someone see him. Even if it's just for a moment. Even if he doesn't say a word.